Longing truth and soul, longing for another wind. Lurching to the fray, weapon out and belly in. A warrior struggling to remain consequential. Low, loud, bold and proud. Where I've been, but here I am. Beating chest and drums, beating giant bones again. Age-old battle mind, weapon out and belly in. A tale told of battles won, of things we've done. Calling your own grin.
Straight into the Beating tired bones, tripping through remember when. Was invincible, now the armor's wearing thin. Stop mistreating Uncle Lou!
Down. A warrior struggling
Good morning. Y'all excited today? Man, I can't wait to watch these games today. Don't you want there to be an upset? But not your team, though. I really want there to be an upset, but man, I have been looking all week, and even though I took South Carolina into 3.5 points against Tennessee, I think Tennessee wins a close one. I do. I'm talking about upsets in the SEC. I know what the two upsets are going to be. They're both in the Big 12. I already told you. If you've been paying attention, go ahead and bet those games on the money line. Make yourself some money. Yeah, that would be ideal. Speaking of money, I'm going to get you guys to help me make my bets at the end of the show today. So stick around for that. I think I liked that last week. Slim didn't win, but maybe somebody will win this week. Slim Shady Canes I'm talking about. But at the end of the show, I let one viewer make a bet for me. And if the bet wins, I'll send you what you win. We'll do that again today.
I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
Yeah, I'm going to try to show you the money. You can bet any game you want. Oh, well, you can't bet any game that I bet because I don't want to put two bets on the same game. So at the end of the show, I'll go through and I'll place my bets, and then we'll pick somebody from somewhere and let you make a bet on a game I didn't bet on. And if you win, I'll send you what you win. So you can't beat that. Cha-ching. Yeah, how's everybody doing today? I don't know of the upset in the SEC. I don't. I tried all week to find one. Listen, when you do what I do, you need to pick an upset. For one thing, it pisses people off, but it's not really that exciting to just pick the favorites in every single game. And if you watch my preview and prediction videos, not just the ones I've done this year, the last few weeks, but the last few years, I pick upsets every week. There's not one in the SEC that I'm confident in. There's not. I think there's a small chance Ole Miss comes out a lot better than we think and gives Florida some trouble, but I don't know that I'm confident enough to pick Ole Miss to win. I think there's a chance Kentucky's better than we think, and Auburn, struggles on both lines of scrimmage because of some turnover, and, they don't have the running back situation figured out, and maybe Bo Nix has a bad game, and a chance Kentucky can win. And I think there's a chance South Carolina can win, but I think those three games are those three games are the ones that I hear people talk about and see you guys in the comments section all week talk the most about being a potential upset. So yeah, Arkansas could beat Georgia, Mizzou could beat Bama, Mississippi State could beat LSU. Anything can happen. We know that. I love those comments that I get too. You shouldn't be so confident about Arkansas. Anything can happen. Yeah, we know anything can happen, but that doesn't mean I'm going to make a hype and hate video and say that Arkansas has a chance to beat us. Not sure if new to channel or bumped head or what, but I've said it before, say it again. We could be playing the 85 Bears at 4 o'clock this afternoon. The video yesterday would have been the same. It would have been Chicago instead of Arkansas or whatever, but that's how that goes. Anyway, how you guys doing? I know y'all are excited today. I am too, man. We have good games all day long. Streaming schedule for today. This show till 10:15, 10:30, whatever. And then over on the main channel, the regular channel, the UNCLELOU channel, reaction videos all day long to anything that needs reacting to. And, of course, I'll have a halftime video for Georgia versus Arkansas and a post-game video for Georgia versus Arkansas, no matter what happens in that game, uploaded on the main channel. As far as the live streams today, this one till 10 or 10:30. The Patreon stream today is going to be the primetime games. That's what they voted on. So if you're a member over on the Patreon page, you know the deal. Check the link on Patreon around 7 or 7:30. There'll be a link posted on the Patreon page. Just click the link. It'll take you to the live stream. Now, they didn't choose the Georgia game, and that's fine. They can choose whatever time slot they want. They chose the primetime games. That means I will be streaming the Georgia game on this channel for God and everyone else to see. So I'll start a live stream around 3:30 or 3:45 today, whatever, and I will be streaming on this channel for the Georgia game. So the Patreon stream basically will start right after the Georgia game ends, whether that's 7:30, whatever. The Patreon stream, I'll shut that stream down, and then I'll immediately create another stream, and that'll be over on the Patreon page for the primetime games. And there's some good ones. I got, I tried to, most of the good games I have scrolling across the bottom of the screen: Tennessee, South Carolina, Miami, Florida State, NC State, Virginia Tech. Those are the three, I think, most interesting games tonight. But you've got great games at all 3 time slots today, don't you? Yeah, you do, including noon, including the afternoon, too. Turn his air on. So, I mean, Ole Miss versus Florida at noon, Kentucky versus the Barn at noon, Louisville versus Pittsburgh at noon. Why is Pittsburgh only a 3-point favorite in that game? Sounds fishy.
It's a trap.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Georgia Tech versus Syracuse at noon. And then this afternoon, Mississippi State and LSU. A lot of people are asking, why did CBS pick the Mississippi State LSU game? They always, if there's a national champion in the SEC from the year before, CBS is going to show that team week 1 the following year. It's just what it is. Army versus Cincinnati at 3:30. Now, this could be a good game. Winner has a leg up in New Year's Six Bowl. Cincinnati's about a 2-touchdown favorite. West Virginia versus Oklahoma State. Upset alert! Oklahoma State's favored by 7. That one's at 3:30. UGA versus Arkansas at 4. Bama, Mizzou at 7. Already went through the night games. Anyway, that's the lineup of games today, plus a bunch more. I didn't list them all, but I tried to type in some of the best ones down on the bottom of the screen in case anybody wasn't sure. We'll pull the entire schedule of games up here in a second. But let me say hello to some people in the comments section here. Really appreciate you guys tuning in for the biggest day yet of college football this season, right? And we got the Big Ten will join us here in what? When do they start? When is the Big Ten starting? October what? Is it, hell, I can't remember now. There's so many damn dates that we're going to start one day, then another day, and now the Pac-12 is a different day. Anyway, the Big 12 will be joining us soon, October 24th. Thank you. So biggest day so far, college football. So I'm excited. I know you guys are too. We'll talk about some food later. We'll talk college game day. Of course, they're live from Miami, not the University of Miami. What would be the point in being live from the University of Miami? Game day broadcast from a stadium, typically. There is no stadium on the University of Miami. But they're broadcasting from the city of Miami nonetheless, or Coral Gables. What's the difference? No one knows or cares. Lost Aggie, 6556. Thank you for hitting the super chat on the top of the show this morning. I really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the show. That goes to all of you. The super chats, thumbs up, sharing the video. 148 in here, 41 thumbs up. Let's get that up. Get over 100 thumbs up. Come on, I know you guys are excited. I'm doing the best I can with these live shows during the season. Show some love for your boy, Uncle Lou. Hit the thumbs up. It really does help. The thumbs up is what tells YouTube whether they should put this video high up in the search rankings or down low in the search rankings. So the more thumbs up you get versus the total number of viewers, the better chance it is that this video will be found by people. And that's the goal of any YouTuber, is to be found by people who didn't know they existed, to grow the channel. So thumbs up is the best way you guys can help me do that if you're interested in helping me. The super chats and the PayPals are what keep these live shows going. Of course, I can't monetize these live streams that I do. So without the super chats and the PayPals, Uncle Lou would be working for free. So I really appreciate the support there too. Lost Aggie says the first FBS team 3-0 in 2020. Meep Zoom, UTSA Roadrunners, and no coyote in sight. Yeah, shout out to UTSA. They are 3-0 in that. Thank you for the super chat, sir. And good luck the rest of the way to your Meep Zooms. Have a feeling they'll need it. Jordan Kapler, thank you for the super chat this morning, sir. Really appreciate that. He says the SEC teams ain't playing. The SEC. Why is it? Look at the poll. Just look at it. Just look at the poll. It's SEC bias. The AP voters have SEC bias. The college coaches across the country that do the coaches poll, SEC bias. FPI poll, that football power index that ESPN does, SEC bias. The SEC literally has played nobody. And half the damn teams is ranked. Thank you for the super chat, sir. You make an excellent point. Waikiki.
I can feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
Show me the money, Waikiki. About them damn West Virginia Mountaineers today. Dwan Mathis, over or under 15 pass attempts? Over. Listen, you know what? You know how I kept picking Michigan to beat Ohio State every year and they never did? And then last year I was all over Nebraska and that didn't work out. It's been, I ride certain things until they just are obviously dead. Every single offseason, I fall for the same banana in the tailpipe routine from the University of Georgia, which is, this is the year. This is the year we come out with a grown-up offense. I'm doing it again. Dwan Mathis, over 15 pass attempts. Over. Dwan Mathis will have over 200 yards passing and over 50 yards rushing. 50 yards? This guy been talking about wanting to run around quarterback, then he come out and be happy with 50 yards. 50 yards a game over the course of the season is what? 600 yards in a 12-game season, 500 in a 10-game season. Okay? That's a lot more than negative 140 over a 3-year period, is it not? Yes, it is. Dwan Mathis rushes for 50 yards today. How many first downs would that be? I'm willing to bet the majority of those runs would be on third down. So, yeah, give me that. Give me 3 total touchdowns for Dwan, over 200 passing, 50 rushing. I'll take that. I'm a glutton for punishment. So when Georgia comes out and throws the ball 11 times today and hands the ball off up the middle 40 times in the second half, well, you already know what the halftime and postgame videos will be. Thank you for the super chat, though. Mike Bridges, good to see you in here this morning, sir. Thank you. He says, do you think UGA shows their whole offense with Auburn next week? No, UGA hides their offense, sir. Everyone knows this. We've been hiding our offense since Jacob Eason got hurt, okay? We've been hiding our offense since the first game of 2017. Everyone knows. Just read through the comments on my channel over the last 3 years, every single time early in the season when I complain about Georgia's a boring, basic, simple, elementary offense. The same thing over and over again I'm told from the Disney dogs. But Lou, we're hiding our offense until we play Alabama. Yeah, then the second half of the Alabama game comes around, and yeah, we hide our offense from our own selves. We can't even find our offense in the second half against Bama. This just in, teams do not hide their offense. That they don't. Now, teams, trick plays, stuff like that, yes. You don't come out and practice your trick plays in the second half of a 40-point blowout. But the style and scheme of an offense is not hidden by any college football team, ever, period. Okay? It's not. Georgia runs, if you look at the last 3 years, Georgia has ran the same overall philosophy and scheme in the last 3 or 4 games of the year that they did in the first 3 or 4 games of the year. What would be the point? You have a new offensive coordinator, a quarterback that's never played, 4 new offensive linemen. What would be the point of not letting those guys get game experience running the real offense during a game? So no, I don't buy into that at all. Waikiki says, I doubled down on the West Virginia game. I got West Virginia and the points and the over. You don't need the points. You don't need the points, Waikiki. You got to do like Uncle Lou. Roll the dice. Bet it on the money line. TNT Tiger Grad or TN Tiger Grad. Thank you for the super chat. He says, good morning. George Pickens over under 100 yards and a touchdown. I'm going to, you know what? I don't know if he'll have 100 yards. I don't know. We may spread the ball around. I don't know. And 1 touchdown, I think it's probably the right number too. But because that's no fun, give me over the 1 touchdown and under the 100 yards. How about that? Unless he has a big play. You know, they hit him for a 60-yarder. then his totals for the day will be over 100. I know that video I made yesterday was long, and most people don't watch the entire thing, but there was a stat I mentioned in that game that was in that video that was unreal that I read somewhere yesterday. I don't know how many times we threw the ball to George Pickens last year, but of course Jake Fromm was our quarterback, so a lot of those balls were uncatchable for obvious reasons. But there were 49 times the ball was thrown to George Pickens where the pass was considered catchable. He caught all 49. All 49. That's unreal. If he doesn't have to be better than last year, but you have to assume that he is. Most players get better from year to year, especially year 1 to year 2. If he's better than he was last year, physically, ability-wise, now clearly up here, we hope some of that stuff is, we hope he's lost some of that. The fighting and that that's hilarious that he threw a Georgia Tech player into the wall head first, but you can't do that. You got to walk away. But he could be unbelievable this year. Thank you guys for hitting that super chat. Oh, they got the Bear. Here's the Bears. Damn it, I missed it. Did anybody see the Bears picks? I'm gonna have to rewind that. Hold on. This guy does pretty good with his picks, his bets. This guy, the Bear on Gameday. Oh, he hasn't made his picks yet. Those are the ones he's gonna pick. I'll be interested to see which way he goes on that West Virginia at Oklahoma State, Tulane at Iowa, and Kentucky at Auburn. Those are the 3 games the Bear is gonna pick live on the. I would pay attention to those if I was y'all. The guy knows what he's doing. There are some who think that what we saw from Oklahoma State last week was an anomaly and that line is actually too low. And I wonder if he's one of them. I wonder if he's going to there's a gambling philosophy that some people use. They bet against what they perceive to be overreactions from week to week. So like, okay, Oklahoma State looked completely awful last week. Well, there's a gambling philosophy that says that means this week they're going to be undervalued. An overreaction to how bad they played. I'm wondering if he'll go that way and take Oklahoma State minus 6.5 since it's just under a touchdown. We'll see. I'm going to live or die with West Virginia today, regardless of what he says, though. I'm half retarded. Catch back up to live TV here. All right. He's talking again. What's he saying? What's he saying? Any of y'all watching this? He just picked Oklahoma State. Yep, there it is. I see it now. I haven't bet that game yet. Maybe I won't bet it now. I don't know. I'm not betting Oklahoma State, but maybe I'll just stay away from it now. I was going to bet that game at the end of the show today, but maybe I'll just stay away from that one now. Maybe I'll go TCU over Iowa State for my upset pick today. Shout out to everybody joining us in the comments section this morning. Boomer Coslet, C Money, Dustin, Danny Boy, Pinecone is here. Good luck to you tonight, sir. Don't think you'll need it. There you go. Melissa May, Captain Trips, Hound Dog, Snake Spence, Ken AV Guy, Big Dog, a high Auburn fan. It might be low this afternoon. I don't know. We'll see. Clemson Carson, what's up, buddy? Russell Westbrook, Big Dog Tojo, Jamie Oldman, Brad Pitt. Morning to you, sir. Jerome Pruitt, Razorback fan number 1, which tomorrow will be changing his name to Auburn fan number 1. We've been down this road, it seems like, 100 times with these troll accounts. Whoever Georgia's playing, you got this guy, he comes in here, pretends to be a huge fan of that team. Team gets blown out. We never see the guy again. Next week, new account shows up with the name of whoever Georgia's playing next. So we'll see what happens with this guy. We'll see if he goes down that same familiar road or if he actually sticks around as a shamed swine. We'll see. Yep. Jay Bolton, Les Bullis from Morgantown. Oh, you a West Virginia fan then. Yeah, his name is Arkansas fan this week. But what they do is they do that, and then they change their YouTube name to whoever Georgia's playing. Mountaineer Mike, what's up, buddy? Good to see you guys in here. Let's pull up the list of games for today. How'd that be? Oh, I think that'd be just fine. What a coincidence. I do too. What a coincidence. I do too. Let's take a look. All right. What do we got here? Of course, UTSA, someone already mentioned in the comment section, beat what has turned out to be a terrible Middle Tennessee State team this year. UAB won on Thursday night 42-10. Those are the only 2 games we've had so far, at least in the FBS. And then when you take a look at the games today, here they are. The games, the times, and the TV channels. So take notes if you need to know these things for later. K-State at Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma in that one, obviously. And we'll take a look at the odds on these games towards the end of the hour, and I'll make some picks live. But I do like Oklahoma there. Florida at Ole Miss. I like Florida to win that game. Kentucky at Auburn. I like Auburn to win at home. Central Florida at East Carolina. Give me Central Florida big. Georgia Southern at Louisiana. Give me Georgia Southern. I'm not going to bet that game, but got to root for the hometown team. Not that I live in Statesboro, but still. What else for noon? Louisville at Pitt. Pitt only a 3-point favorite in that one. Is that another overreaction to how bad Louisville looked last week? I don't know. I like Pitt in that one, though. Georgia Tech at Syracuse. That game could go either way. These are 2 bad teams here. What's the over-under total number of turnovers we'll see in this Georgia Tech-Syracuse game? 6? Georgia Tech's good for 3 or 4 turnovers. I mean, that's like clockwork. Syracuse can't hang on to the ball either. I'm going to say 4. I'm going to say we see – no, I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say we see 5 turnovers in that game. That's going to be a sloppy game. Those are 2 pretty bad teams there. Iowa State at TCU. Iowa State, for some reason, is favored in this one. I like TCU. Tulane at Southern Miss. We're getting into the afternoon games now, of course, with Mississippi State at LSU. I think that one could be closer than some people think, but I like LSU to get the win. Texas at Texas Tech. I think Texas wins huge, maybe by 40. Army at Cincinnati. I hate picking against Army. It's fun to root for Army, and I'm probably not going to bet this game because I think Cincinnati beats them pretty good, and I don't want to have to root against Army because I have money on the game, but I think Cincinnati probably wins that one by 2 or 3 touchdowns. West Virginia at Oklahoma State. I still like West Virginia. I understand why some people are high on Oklahoma State. Maybe they think that's the overreaction from last week or whatever, but man, Oklahoma State just looked really bad. Even their best players, Chuba Hubbard didn't have a good game. He had 3 yards a carry against Tulsa. They played 3 different quarterbacks. I got to find out what's going on with their quarterback situation too. Any of y'all that were watching Game Day, did they say anything about the Oklahoma State quarterback situation? They lost their first and second string quarterback during the game against Tulsa, and I haven't looked up yet this week how serious those injuries might have been. Did they happen to say who was getting the start for Oklahoma State today at quarterback? Oklahoma State is trash. Move on. Well, for betting purposes, I need to know what they said about the quarterback situation, though. I agree they're not any good. They didn't say. Their second string was benched. I think they said Spencer Sanders is playing. All right, I'll maybe look into that I'll Google it or something before I actually decide to bet on that game. I guess just to see what I can find. But that game's at 3:30 on ABC. Georgia at Arkansas, of course, 4:00 on the SEC Network. Duke at Virginia. That's a tough game to figure out, too. Either team could win that game by 7 to 10 points, couldn't they? I mean, no matter what happens in this game, will it surprise you? Won't surprise me. No way I bet on that game. Texas State at Boston College. No one cares. Alabama at Missouri. I'll be interested to check this line again this morning. Now, I already bet this game and the Georgia game. I bet the Alabama game and the Georgia game on Sunday when the lines first came out. I got Alabama minus 27, under 4 touchdowns. So I think that's a good number. And I got Georgia minus 24.5. We'll see what the lines are up to today. But I have them at 24.5 for Georgia and 27 for Bama. Those are the only two I've bet so far. We'll bet some more at the end of the show. Vandy at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a huge favorite. Texas A&M is the biggest favorite in the SEC this week. They are a bigger favorite than Bama and a bigger favorite than Georgia. Vandy at Texas A&M, 7:30 on SEC Network channel, or the second SEC Network. There's two. There's the alternate channel. That one comes on the alternate channel. Yeah, it has to. Florida State at Miami, 7:30 on ABC. This is one where, because it's a rivalry, I think that's kept the line down. But the last I saw on this one, Miami was only an 11-point favorite. I think Miami is probably 3 touchdowns better than Florida State, but you do see weird things in rivalry games. Maybe that's why that line looked a little low. Florida State also had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Tennessee at South Carolina. Last I saw, Tennessee was a 3.5-point road favorite in Columbia against the Gamecocks. That's 7:30 on the SEC Network. Kansas at Baylor. No, what you can't pick Kansas to do anything. You got to go with Baylor to win that one. 7:30 on ESPNU. NC State at Virginia Tech. This is Virginia Tech's first game. They're on the SEC plan, ain't they? Their first couple of games were canceled, postponed, rearranged, moved, whatever. So this will be their first game. NC State put up a ton of points last week against a terrible Wake Forest team. They also gave up a ton of points last week against a terrible Wake Forest team. That game looked like a Big 12 game. Final score was like 50-45 or whatever it ended up being. Back and forth, a track meet game. I like Virginia Tech to win that game. I'll have to look at the spread, figure out if I can bet it either way. The over might be a good bet in that game. Total over the total points scored in that game, might bet the over there. Troy at BYU, 10:15 on ESPN. Troy's probably going to beat them by 3 or 4 touchdowns. You already know. And then here's your cancellations or postponements for the week. Of course, Notre Dame, the most notable team. They're ate up with the coronavirus. They had to cancel their game at Wake Forest or postpone it to later in the year. Georgia State at Charlotte, Tulsa at Arkansas State, South Florida at Florida Atlantic, and North Texas at Houston. I don't know what's going on with Houston, man. They haven't been able to play a game yet all year. And they were supposed to start 4 weeks ago, normal. Their first game was canceled or postponed, and every game they've had since then has been canceled or postponed. So they can't seem to get right down there, which is a shame. Anyway, so all right, other than your team, right? So if you're a Miami fan or a Florida State fan, besides that game, what game are you most looking forward to watching today? So, like I'm a Georgia fan. Clearly, I want to watch the Georgia game. But besides that, Florida Ole Miss is high on my list. Kentucky Auburn, South Carolina Tennessee, Army Cincinnati. Bunch of good games today. I'm gonna watch a lot of football today. And tomorrow's Your Season Is Over video is going to be, that thing might be 2 hours long. I don't know that we've ever had a Saturday in college football where all 14 SEC teams were playing each other on the same day. I don't know that that's ever happened. And if it has happened, it's been much later in the year. And so a lot of teams, their season was already over before the game was played. Nobody in the SEC has any losses right now. Tomorrow morning when we wake up, 7 SEC teams will have losses. 7. So half the SEC season ending today. What a shame. So, yeah, tomorrow's Your Season is Over video should be amazing. I guess. I don't know. I'm excited. We'll see. What y'all going to eat today? I said almost, just as excited about what I'm going to eat today as I am about the football I'm going to be watching while I eat it. But you guys know I love chicken wings. I love game day food. I love chicken wings. And there used to be this place real close to my house where I would a lot during the season, and even not during the season. It was a good chicken wing place, and it was real close to the house. I'd go there and get chicken wings all the time. Well, they closed down about a year and a half ago. Well, I just found out a few days ago that a new restaurant has opened in that same location, and it's also a wing place. So I'm going there today. Me and Lou Jr. are actually going to go when we end this stream here. I try to end this stream around 10 or 10:30 so I can go make my grocery store run for the day or chicken wing run or whatever and be back before the noon games start. So we'll leave here around 11 or 11:15, whatever, and we're going to go to the wing place, and I'm going to get a bunch of wings, too, because I want to try the different kinds they have and all that, see what's good, what's not. But I'm excited because there are other wing places in town, clearly, but I'm pushed for time in the mornings because I do this show, and then I have to be back at noon. So, like, there's a wing stop. There's several wing stops here. There's Buffalo Wild Wings. There's all kinds of places, but they're a little too far away for me to leave here at 11 or 11:15, go pick them up, and be back by the time the game start at noon. So I actually started getting my wings from T-Bones, the same place where I get my Tommy fries, and they're okay. They're not great. They're typical restaurant buffalo. You go to any chain restaurant that serves chicken wings, they're just, it's like there's nothing special about them. But I would get them because they were the only place that was convenient to here that had them. But so I'm excited this new place has opened up. It's not a chain, and those are the best wing places, aren't they? When it's not a chain, it's just some guy wants to sell wings. That's what this is. This is just a locally owned and operated thing this guy started up. It's called Tops. The guy was a first sergeant in the Army, retired from the Army as a first sergeant, and he opened up this wing place. So me and Lou Jr. are going to ride up there early this afternoon, 11:15, whatever, and pick us up some wings. What you guys eating today? I might do some boiled peanuts today, too. And it seems like there was something else I was doing today. Wings, boiled peanuts. What the hell else was I doing? Thought there was something else I was doing, but maybe not. I went and bought a bunch of celery at the grocery store the other day, too, to eat with the wings, celery and ranch dressing. You have to have that. It's the law. So, thank you. Pinecone, good morning. Good luck to you today, sir. Like I said, don't think you'll need it. But good luck nonetheless in that, too, and also, in addition to some of that as well.
Hey, what's up, guys? Josh Schneider here.
Stop. I hate, man, you pick YouTube with these ads. I don't think you'll need the luck today, sir, but good luck to you nonetheless, I guess. I don't know. He says, Blackjack live table on Bet Now is amazing. I have played around with some of that stuff in the past. I've played some poker on there. I can't remember if I played blackjack or not. But I usually only do that with free money. Money I've won betting on sports. And right now, I'm lucky right now. I started with 100. I'm up to 412 right now. So, but that's not going to, believe me, I'm not some expert gambler. I'm just a fan, and I've just gotten lucky on a couple of games early in the season. I've been gambling on sports long enough to know that the hot streak that I'm on is not likely to last. So I have to brag while I can. But yeah, the first couple of weeks of the season, I've turned 100 into 412. So I started this week with $412. I've already bet 100 of that. I bet 50 on Alabama minus 27 and 50 on Georgia minus 24.5. I'll bet a few more games. I'll bet a few more games at the end of free. If I win money, I consider that free money. So I started with 100. So I've got 312. Like if I was going to play blackjack on Bet Now or poker, I wouldn't play with my own money. I would only play with Bet Now's money, is what I'm saying. Thank you for the super chat, Pinecone. Let's see. Waikiki says, do you care if I share a link to the game later? I'm not sure what I'm not sure what you're asking, but I I don't think I'll care. What link to what game are you talking about? And where are you talking about sharing it? I don't. I mean, I don't. I'm sure you can share a link if that's what you're asking, but I don't know. I don't really know what you're asking if you can share. Wilson has a short leash if he struggles. Put in Gatewood. Is Gatewood eligible? I can't remember if he got his waiver or not. Last I heard, he hadn't, which is ridiculous, but people should be getting waivers anytime they transfer for the first time. Now, here they go showing this Falcons thing again. What a joke. Look at these people standing around like a bunch of deadbeats. That one guy, number 87, even backed up out of the way. My God, what a joke. Are you breaking a TV if y'all lose to Arkansas? I have no idea what I will do. That's not planned, so I have no clue what I would do if we lose to Arkansas. I don't break a TV every time Georgia loses. It usually has more to do with how or why we lose or who we lose to or something like that than just the fact that we lost. I haven't broken a TV every time Georgia loses, but I don't know what I don't know what I would do if we lost to I don't know what we'd do if I lost to Arkansas. I have no idea. Bulldoze the new shit. No, I can't bulldoze this building. That's not an option. Imagine putting Alabama at primetime just because ESPN drools over Bama all the time, no matter who they play. Actually, Alabama had less primetime games last year than almost any other SEC team, but people are so ate up with hate for Alabama that they have these preconceived notions in their head, and yeah. Now, Pinecone, if Georgia loses to Arkansas, what would be the point in me wearing Miami gear for a week? That just doesn't even make any sense, sir. Mike Bridges makes an excellent point. I don't think I can demolish this building before it's even paid for. I don't think Mrs. Lou would be too happy with that if I was having to pay off a building that no longer existed. I would disagree that LSU fans are the gold standard for fandom. In 2018, I couldn't find an LSU fan around here if my life depended on it. Now there's a bunch of them. So, which is great, but they should have been here in 2018 too. Even when they were losing to Troy, that would be a gold standard. Know what I mean? I'm not saying you, but I'm saying LSU fans. There were plenty of LSU fans who were here in the offseason before 2018 started, so I know for a fact they had found the channel. But halfway through the season in 2018, you couldn't find one. So that's not a gold standard. Tennessee fans have been on this channel for years, and there may be more Tennessee fans on this channel than any other team other than maybe Georgia. That's a gold standard. If Tennessee fans waited till they won a national title to come around like a lot of these LSU fans did, well, we'd never see them. These Tennessee fans have been here forever. Yeah, UGA's schedule is front-loaded. False football is dead. That South Carolina-Tennessee game is a big game today because those are two. I don't even think. I'm trying to say this in a way where it doesn't sound like trash talk or an insult, but I don't even think most Tennessee fans know they're not in the upper tier of SEC teams. But they don't want to be in the lower tier anymore, and it's possible they're not. But they have to win that game today. Tennessee and South Carolina are two, middle-of-the-road teams really in the SEC right now. Tennessee had a good year last year compared to what they've done the last few years. Carolina had a bad year last year compared to what they've done the last few years, but very similar overall records if you look at them over the last few years. Whoever loses that game today ain't getting to 5 wins. So whoever loses that game today is doomed to a losing record this year. Just look at the remaining schedules for those two teams. If Tennessee can't beat South Carolina, then there's not 5 other teams they can beat. Same thing for South Carolina. If South Carolina can't beat Tennessee, there's not 5 other teams South Carolina can beat. So whoever loses today's game is doomed to a losing season, in my opinion. So big game for both teams. 6-4 would be a good year for Tennessee. I know that probably doesn't make them happy to hear, but if Tennessee goes 6-4, that means they probably didn't lose any games they weren't supposed to lose. And that would be a huge improvement over even last year. Tennessee ended the year strong last year, but they couldn't have started it any worse. If Tennessee goes 6-4, then that likely means they won 6 games they were favored in and lost to 4 games they weren't. Once they can get to that, then they have to start beating one of those, Georgia, Florida, or Bama. They got to beat one of those then. But for this year, if they went 6-4 and lost to Georgia, Florida, Bama, and is it Texas A&M they play? Say they lost to those 4. That would be a pretty good year. That would mean they beat all the other teams that they were supposed to beat, which would be an improvement. And then next year, maybe you say, okay, now we need to beat Georgia, Florida, or Bama. Not that they can't beat one of those teams this year. Like we said at the beginning, I know anything can happen. But at the end of the year, if you're 6-4 and those are your 4 losses, at least that means you didn't lose to a team you weren't supposed to, Tim says, the only 2 games I can see my Hogs winning are Ole Miss and Mizzou. I'd give you a chance against Mizzou. I'm not sure about Ole Miss. Ole Miss is one of the hardest teams to figure out to me because I do think Ole Miss has some talent. I think Ole Miss's main problems the last 2 years were coaching, not talent. Not that Ole Miss has talent of an Alabama or Auburn or LSU, but Ole Miss has some talent. And I blame more so the coaching at Ole Miss the last couple of years. I never liked Matt Luke. Was that his name? What was his name? What was the head coach's name at Ole Miss? I'm drawing a blank. I think it was Matt Luke. He wasn't a good head coach. He was in over his head as a head coach there, in my opinion. Isn't that who it was? I think that's I might. Yeah, Matt Luke. Thank you. He was over his head as a head coach. He wasn't ready for that. But they've got some talent there, and if Lane Kiffin can figure out a way to get that offense rolling, I think Ole Miss could be a little bit better than most people think. But we never really know how the first year of a new system is going to go, especially in a year like this where you had such a weird and strange offseason. It's just impossible to know for sure what kind of Ole Miss team we're going to see until 12 o'clock today, because they play a good team today. So, there's no, Ole Miss is going to wait until next week. No, Ole Miss is playing a top 10 team today. So whatever Ole Miss has to offer, we will see it today. Hi, Orange fan says, I hate 11 a.m. games. I can't relate, sir. I wouldn't know what it was like to watch a game at 11 a.m. Don't have those problems here in the correct time zone. Good morning, Old Nation. A couple of you have hit the PayPal link, and I just noticed. So let me head over to the PayPal and read those real quick. I just posted the PayPal link too in the comment section for those of you that don't mind taking the extra step. If you donate to the show through the PayPal link, Uncle Lou gets 100% of your support without YouTube stealing half. So you don't have to do that. But for those of you that don't mind, there it is. Mike Reiser. Just the joke of the day. He says, I opened a company selling landmines disguised as prayer mats. Profits are going through the roof, and he spelled profits with a PH. Now, see, if I said that, I'd get a phone call from one of these BYU nitwits on the night show that likes to call in and complain to me. So, but you said it, not me. Thank you for hitting that PayPal link, sir. Let's see. Brian B., thank you, sir. He says, over or under, Auburn has 2 turnovers today. I'm going to go under 2. I think 2 is the right number if you're trying to place a bet, though. I think, but I'm going to go under 2. If Auburn has over 2, that's how Kentucky can pull off an upset, right? If Auburn turns the ball over, if Kentucky, maybe Kentucky gets a special teams touchdown somewhere, whatever. Kentucky's got to not turn the ball over, which has been an issue for Terry Wilson in the past. He came to Kentucky with the nickname of Touchdown Terry at whatever junior college he came from. He started playing against the SEC, and his, his nickname quickly evolved to Turnover Terry. He can't have that today. You can't go into Auburn and win a game turning the ball over. Ask Alabama. So you're not, Kentucky goes in there and turns the ball over, this game's over. You got to try to get Auburn to turn the ball over is what you got to do if you're an underdog here today, like Kentucky is. But I'm gonna say under 2 turnovers for Auburn. Waikiki, thank you for hitting that PayPal, sir. He says, okay. The first thing it says is you don't have to read this out loud. Okay, so I'm not. I just Well, I would prefer you didn't do that. No, I would prefer you didn't do that. You can do it for the noon games today if you want, Waikiki, but not the others. Lil Leon, good to see you in here this morning, sir. Thank you for the super chat. He says, good morning, Lou. It's finally game day. I know I can't wait to watch these SEC games today. As much as I love college football, and I do, I watch it all. Big 12, Pac-12, Big 10, ACC, Group of Five, Independent, Service Academies. I watch it all. In my heart, I will always be an SEC fan. I can't help it, and that drives a lot of people nuts. And there's a lot of fans of teams in the SEC that aren't that way, and that's okay too. But I am an SEC guy. I just love SEC football. I mean, I can't get enough. It's there's nothing like it in my opinion. And there's Big Ten fans, and they feel that the same way, and I get that too. You grow up in a Big Ten area, watching Ohio State and Michigan every year, and Penn State, and all whatever. Wisconsin, I get that too. I grew up down here. I've been watching SEC football forever. I'm an old guy. When I was first starting to develop a love for college football, every single game wasn't on TV like it is now. College football was mainly a regional sport in terms of TV back then. You had one or two nationally televised games a week, But I saw a lot of SEC football during the regional broadcast days, and I've just always loved SEC football, and so I'm really excited for today. And I know a lot of people are, even fans of non-SEC teams are excited because now that the SEC is playing, that gives us more watchable games every week to watch. Right? It was hard to find 3 or 4 watchable games the last few weeks. But now we've got 14 more teams that have started playing, and then in a couple of weeks when the Big Ten jumps in, that'll juice it up even more. So I'm excited. Thanks for tuning in this morning, Leon. Warzone, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, good morning, Lou. I can't believe we're finally here. Good luck to your dogs today, and go Gators. Yeah, good luck to your Gators, too. I'd rather be playing Arkansas than Ole Miss. I think Georgia would beat Ole Miss, but I think Ole Miss is better than Arkansas. So I'm glad we get kind of a tune-up game. And Florida's a lot better than Ole Miss, too, so you should handle them. But still, I'm more confident playing Arkansas than if we were playing Ole Miss today. But that'll be a good game. I'm curious to see what Kyle Trask looks like, having gone through an entire offseason, knowing he's the starter, even though it was a weird offseason. And I want to see, who I am curious to see? Can a Florida fan tell me? I'm assuming he is. Is Britton Cox starting? I'm assuming he is, but I'm interested to see how he does too, because this kid had a ton of talent. And he would have seen the field at Georgia. Some of these Georgia fans, he never would have seen the field, buried on the depth chart. He wasn't a starter, but Georgia plays 25, 30 defensive players a game. They rotate them in. Georgia doesn't really have a starting 11 on Georgia has 22 players that would on defense that would start on almost any team in America. That's just the facts. They rotate these guys in and out. So he would have played a lot. And I'm honest about players that transfer out. I don't say, well, this kid transferred out, so now he's doo-doo. There's 2 things that are true about Britton Cox. Number 1, he's extremely talented. Extremely talented. You don't get a 5-star rating by accident. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have busts, but he's extremely talented. I know that for sure. Number 2, he had some attitude problems at UGA. That's just a fact. That's not me hating on Britton Cox. That happened. I mean, there's plenty of players that have transferred out of UGA. Justin Fields transferred out of UGA. Do I talk bad about him? No. Now, that doesn't mean that those attitude problems will carry on to Gainesville. A lot of times, kids need a change of scenery. D'Angelo Gibbs, when he left Georgia and went to Tennessee, I said some things about D'Angelo Gibbs that people said, well, you're just saying that because he left Georgia. No, I don't do that. D'Angelo Gibbs has had some emotional issues. And that's nothing to joke or laugh about. And I'm not joking or laughing about it. Those are serious. Emotional, mental issues are just as serious as physical ailments. And sometimes a change of scenery can help kids out. Now, it appears that a change of scenery did not help D'Angelo Gibbs out. He's sort of washed out at Tennessee now, too. And it's a shame because that's another 5-star, amazing athlete with a ton of talent and ability. So sometimes the change of scenery can sort of level a kid out, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm interested to see how Brenton Cox does today. I'm assuming he's going to start, but even if he doesn't, I would expect he plays a lot. We'll see. Big Cap says 2 words, Pickens and Washington. If there's one player on Georgia I'm looking forward to seeing the absolute most today, outside of watching the quarterback position, to me the most interesting thing to watch today about Georgia is clearly their offense as a whole. What are we going to see, right? And then specifically the quarterback. Who is it? What does the rotation look like at quarterback if there is one? That kind of thing. And then how do the quarterbacks play? I think that's obviously what a lot of people are curious to see about Georgia. But on an individual level, on a player basis, I am very excited about Darnell Washington. Now, he needs coaching. You know, he's you hear this term, they say, oh, man, this kid's raw. He's raw. But this Darnell Washington runs routes like a wide receiver, has hands like a wide receiver. He's a tight end, though. He's the same height and weight as LeBron James. He's like 6'8", 260. I mean, this guy is an absolute animal. If he puts in the work, if he puts in the effort to prepare himself and learn the game of football and all that, he will be unbelievable. He will be unbelievable. And, you know, unfortunately, Trey McKitty got injured a couple of weeks ago, the tight end that we have that transferred in from Florida State. That's unfortunate, but because of that, it looks like we might see quite a bit of Darnell Washington today. So he's probably the one player I'm most excited to see or curious to see outside of, obviously, watching the quarterback position. All right, it's 10 o'clock. Let's pull up Bet Now and make some money. Y'all want to do that? Y'all going to help me? Y'all going to help me or troll me? Y'all going to help me or troll me? Well, why not? One time.
I am the White Thunder!
Okay. All right. Is that okay with everybody? Are we good still? Anyone offended? If you are offended, I understand. Don't forget there's a new email for that. It's bvdincorporated@yahoo.com. All right. Bet Now. I'm up to $412. Started with $100 a couple of weeks ago. Got real lucky the last couple of weeks with some big bets that I made, some money line bets on the underdogs, that kind of thing. That put me up to $412. Pending, that means bets that I've currently made. So I've already made $100 worth of bets on today's games, which I mentioned earlier. I bet $50 on Georgia and $50 on Alabama. Now, I bet these games back on Sunday when the lines first came out. So the lines may be different today than what I bet them on. I bet Georgia at minus 24.5, meaning Georgia's got to win the game by more than 24.5 points. I bet Alabama minus 27, meaning Alabama has to win the game by more than 27. So I won't be betting those two games because I already bet them. But let's take a look at what else we have, what some of these lines are. I've talked a lot about these games already in the preview and prediction videos, but let's take a look at the updated lines, see where they're at now, and see where there's an opportunity to make some money. Florida State and Miami. Miami is an 11-point favorite. Now, if I play this game, I'm playing Miami. There's no way I would take Florida State at 11. I think Miami is 3 touchdowns better than Florida State. I'm always scared of rivalry games, though. You just see weird things in rivalry games. So this game does scare me a little for that reason. I don't see any way Florida State pulls off an upset, but you see weird things. So I'm leaning towards just staying away from that game, even though I think Miami is significantly better than Florida State. Georgia Tech at Syracuse. I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole. You don't know how many times these teams are going to turn the ball over. You just know they are going to turn the ball over. Georgia Tech, I think, is averaging 4 turnovers a game. Syracuse is averaging almost just as much. These are 2 sloppy teams. Georgia Tech, I do think, is headed in the right direction, but having to turn that roster over from the triple option is going to take more than a season or 2. Again, that's one that sort of scares me. Now, here's one. I am going to play Pitt -3. I was very disappointed in Louisville last week, particularly on defense. Their defense was non-existent. Outside of that little short running back they have that's like 5'8" or something, Louisville just doesn't appear to have a whole lot to work with offensively either. I know Miami's got a pretty good defense, but still their offense looked really bad. I do think Pitt is a pretty good team. I don't think Pitt is one of those 6-win ACC teams that I like to talk about all the time. I think they're slightly better than that. So I am going to take Pitt here at -3. Tennessee and South Carolina, this game has moved to +4. So that means a lot of people were betting on Tennessee because this game was 3.5. It's moved to 4. I don't know if I can play this one either. I like the under. I think this will be a low-scoring game. So if I bet this game, it'll probably be the under. I don't know if I'm going to bet it, though. I'm just check marking it to remind myself. Kansas and Baylor. Baylor hasn't played. They've had corona issues, so this is their first game. We know Kansas is terrible. How much – I don't think anybody thinks Baylor's going to be as good this year as they were last year, but how far off are they going to be? You know, they lost their entire coaching staff to the NFL. Probably stay away from that one too. Troy and BYU, I'll take Troy. I just hate BYU. I'm getting over 2 touchdowns to take Troy here to keep it close. I'll take Troy. This Alabama game is up to 29. You're rolling the dice, in my opinion, now to take it at 29. That's over 4 touchdowns. I have it at 27, which is under 4 touchdowns. I think Alabama still wins by more than 29, but 27 is a better number. If you're high on Alabama, I would still take Alabama at 29, I guess. West Virginia at Oklahoma State. Well, I'm scared off of my money line bet on this game, but I am going to take West Virginia +7. Did I bet that TCU game already? No. But I am, though. Florida at Ole Miss. This is another one I'm not going to play. I think this line is right. I was thinking this game might have been around 17 points, and I could have played Ole Miss to keep it close. Florida could win this game by 2 touchdowns, though, no doubt. But again, Ole Miss is such an unknown. I think I'm going to stay away from that one altogether. Kansas State and Oklahoma. You telling me I can get Oklahoma under 4 touchdowns? I mean, they can score 60, can they not? You really think Kansas State's going to score 30? I don't. Give me Oklahoma under the 4 touchdowns. This is the line that has moved the most this week. Georgia was a 24.5-point favorite when this line came out on Sunday. It's gone up almost 4 full points. Now, if you If you're not familiar with gambling or you haven't been doing it a long time, you'll figure this out real quick. Lines do move. Odds do change over the course of a week, but not by much. This one has changed almost 4 points. That means a lot of money was bet on Georgia at minus 24.5. So, because what these places do, they want to get the same amount of money bet on both sides of the game. That way they win either way. The house wins either way if that happens. So when this line comes out at 24.5 and a bunch of people start betting on Georgia at 24.5, they'll up it to 25. If people keep betting on Georgia, they'll up it to 25.5, and then 26, and then 26.5, and then 27, and then 27.5, and then 28. And they will keep bumping this number up until people start betting it the other way. So it looks like this is where it's leveled off at 28. I have it at 24.5. I don't know that I would play Georgia at minus 28. Kirby and Sam Pittman are friends. He's not going to purposely run up the score. And he's not going to try to embarrass him or anything. Now, I'm of the opinion that Georgia should run 100% of their offense for 100% of the game. But unfortunately, Kirby doesn't watch Uncle Lou every day like he's supposed to. Texas at Texas Tech. I like Texas minus 17.5. I'm a buyer on Texas. I don't think what they did in week 1 against a terrible team was a fluke. If you play a terrible team, the best you can do is go out there and absolutely dominate and humiliate them, and that's what Texas did. Texas Tech, on the other hand, almost lost to Houston Baptist. They were losing in the fourth quarter. I think Texas wins big in this game. Iowa State at TCU. I'm taking TCU to win outright. This is my underdog bet of the week. I do one of these a week. I pick an underdog to win the game outright. I don't even take the free points. Again, if you not familiar with gambling, TCU plus 3 means they're a 3-point underdog. Iowa State minus 3 means they're a 3-point favorite. If you bet one of these numbers, if I bet TCU plus 3, they don't have to win the game for me to win the bet. They just have to lose by less than 3 or win. If I take Iowa State minus 3, they have to win the game by more than 3 for me to win the bet. So if Iowa State were to win the game 21-20, and I had Iowa State minus 3, I lose the bet. I'm not messing around with the numbers on the TCU game, though. I think TCU is the better team. It's at home for TCU for whatever little bit that matters this year. I want to see Zach Evans play. I'm taking TCU to win the game outright. This is how much money you win based on a $100 bet. So if I bet $100, I win $135. So if you bet the underdog to win outright, you win way more than you risk. And the bigger the underdog, the higher the payout. This one's 135% of whatever you bet. So I'm taking TCU on the money line. This is called the money line. I'm taking TCU on the money line to win the game outright. Mississippi State at LSU, not betting this game at 17. If I did, I would take Mississippi State in the 17 points. I think it might be closer than that. Vanderbilt at Texas A&M, 30.5. They're the biggest favorite out of all the SEC games this week. Texas A&M is the biggest favorite, hosting Vandy. I'm not going to play this game, but Texas A&M will destroy them. You know what? I'm going to take the over. Texas A&M, the over-under is the total number of points scored in the game, not for each team, total. Well, Texas A&M might score 45 by themselves in this game. So I'm going to take the over. That's what I'm going to play there. Kentucky and Auburn. Auburn's a 7-point favorite. I can't think of any reason not to take Auburn. I can't. Yeah, I can't think of a reason not to take Auburn. And I've been high on Kentucky this offseason. 7 points I don't think is enough. No, I'm not going to do that. I can't. I talk about Kentucky all offseason and then bet against them week 1. No, not going to do that. Cincinnati, 12.5. Man, I do like Cincinnati minus 12.5 here. I'm not going to bet against Army, though. I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm rooting against Army. If you want to bet this game, I like Cincinnati minus 12.5, but I can't pull the trigger. Duke and Virginia wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. NC State at Virginia Tech. NC State scored a lot of points against a garbage Wake Forest team. Virginia Tech has yet to play, but most people expected them to be one of the better teams in the ACC this year. Some unknowns here. I'm not going to bet this game this morning. This game comes on at 8 o'clock tonight. If, depending on how the noon games go and the afternoon games go, if I feel like I need to add another game, this will be the one I add later, and I'll take Virginia Tech if I do. So there's that. So add picks to ticket. And let's see what we want to do here. Pitt minus 3. $50. Tennessee and South Carolina under 44.5, 25. Troy plus 14.5, 25. This is the amount I'm betting. This is the amount I'll win. So these are the odds, minus 110, minus 110, minus 105. That determines how much you win based off the amount that you bet. West Virginia plus 7, 25. How about that? Oklahoma minus 27.5, 50. Texas minus 17.5, 50. I'm confident in those two. God, this is a lot of games. TCU on the money line. So you'll see I'll win more than I bet here if they end up winning the game. If I bet 50, I'll win 67. I'm going to bet 25. I'm 2 out of 2 on my underdog picks so far, which means I'm due to lose one. So I'm only going to put 25 on that one. Vandy and Texas A&M over 45.5, 25. All right, there we go. Save. All right. I'm in. There we go. All right. Now we're going to let one of y'all make a bet. We'll let one of y'all make a bet now. Let's see. I think last week we did a trivia question. Oh, I know what we'll do. Now, if you watch some of the other shows this week, you'll know the answer to this. So even though this is a hard question, I have a feeling some people will know it. So the first person to correctly answer this trivia question, I will let place a bet for me. I will let place a bet for me live on YouTube. Live on YouTube for you. Everybody ready? I'm going to ask you a trivia question. First correct answer I see, I'll let you make a bet. And if you win, I'll PayPal you the money. If you don't have a PayPal account, don't even enter. Don't guess. Because I'm not jumping through a bunch of hoops to send you money that you won without risking any of your own. I'm making the bet for you. So if you have to make it easy for me to pay you. So if you don't have PayPal, you're not winning. That's how I would send you the money. So here's the trivia question. The Falcons scored 39 points and had 0 turnovers last week against the Cowboys. That's happened a bunch of times in the NFL. 39 points, 0 turnovers, and they lost. What's the record? What's the overall record in the history of the NFL? Number of times that's happened. Mike Bridges got it now, 441. The Falcons became the first team in NFL history to score 39 points in a game, commit 0 turnovers, and lose. It's happened 441 times. Up until Sunday, no team had ever lost. So the first person that said 441 was Mike Bridges. So, Mr. Bridges, do you know the game you want to bet? Isn't that a crazy stat, though? 441 times a team has done that, and they've won every single time, except the Falcons. Which game you want to bet, Mr. Bridges? Tell me the game, and we'll pull up the line and look at it. You can tell me which way you want to go. You can bet any game you want, even if it's one of the games I bet. I think I said earlier it's got to be a game I didn't pick, even if it's a game I've already bet. It doesn't matter. I bet so many games this week. You want a big payout, you got to play a parlay. Parlay's a sucker's bet, though. No, you got to do a parlay with your own money. I don't even do parlays. They're sucker bets. So no, forget that. But the biggest payout would be an underdog winning outright. Well, here you go. Let me. I'll tell you some. Here, let's see. Clear all. Yes. I want to reset the ticket. Football, NCAA football view lines. I'll just give you an example. You want to take Florida State? Florida State, you would win 320%. I'm going to bet $25 for you, so you would win 3 times, almost 3.5 times that. You think Syracuse is going to beat Georgia Tech? You would win 2.5 times your money. You think South Carolina beats Tennessee? You would win 1.5 times your money. You think Missouri beats Alabama? You think Ole Miss beats Florida? You would win over 4 times your money. You think Texas Tech beats Texas? You would win over 5 times your money. Mississippi State over LSU? You would win over 5 times your money. Kentucky over Auburn would be 2 times your money. Let me see what you got. What you said in the comments here. I wasn't looking at the comments. I was looking at the lines. Which game did he pick? I missed it. Somebody tell me which game did he pick? I'm scrolling, but I don't see it. There's so many comments. It's hard for me to scroll back and find it. Can somebody just tell me what he said? Oh, he said Ole Miss versus Florida. Is that right, Mike Bridges? Ole Miss versus Florida? Let me know in the comments right now if that's right. Ole Miss versus Florida. Dan Mullen is trash. No argument for me, Noah. All right. Ole Miss versus Florida. Let's pull that up and see what you'll win. Where is it? Here it is. There you go. Ole Miss versus Florida would win you... Did I miss it? Here it is. So they're a 13.5 point underdog. If they win, you win just over 4 times your money. Add picks to ticket. So $25. So you will win $103.75 if you That's what I will send you to your PayPal if you win. Minus a 10% finder's fee. Save. All right. Good luck, sir. Good luck, sir. Man. I'm pulling for you, buddy. I am pulling for you, buddy. I think a lot of people in here are pulling for you. I think everybody that's not a Florida fan is pulling for you, sir. I do hope we see an upset or two today. It makes the day so much more entertaining if you see a couple of those upsets. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. All right, everybody. Enjoy your college football Saturday. I know you will. I'm excited. Just to recap again real quickly my plans for the rest of the day. I will be doing reaction videos on the main channel all day long as needed. No matter what, though, there will be a halftime video of the Georgia game and a post-game video of the Georgia game. And then whatever else happens along the way, if I feel like I need to laugh at somebody or whatever, I'll post that too. That's on the main channel today. On this channel, the streaming channel, at 4 o'clock, I'm going to live stream the Georgia-Arkansas game. I can't show the game, so keep that in mind. If you're not used to watching people on YouTube live stream games, you can't show the game. Now, shut your channel down. And I don't do play-by-play. Now, I'll talk about the game, obviously, and sometimes I'll even describe the play, but I don't sit here like this, like some people do. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just not what I do. I don't sit here like this and do the play-by-play while I watch the TV right on the other side of the camera. I have another camera that I use. It goes back there, and I sit at the bar, and I react to the game. And during the Georgia game, I say I sit at the bar. Not during the Georgia game. I don't think I sit down during Georgia games, but it's just me reacting to the game. So that's what we're going to do on the channel. The game's at 4. I'll start the stream a few minutes before that. And you can watch me yell and scream and go absolutely nuts for no reason as Georgia beats the bejesus out of Arkansas today. Once that game ends, I will be moving the stream over to the Patreon page. I do a live stream every Saturday for the people over on the Patreon page, and this week they picked the primetime games. So as soon as the Georgia games end, I will continue the stream, but on the Patreon page, and we will do a stream during the primetime games, which, of course, is Tennessee, South Carolina, which could be listen, it's a win-win situation for me in that game. No matter who loses that game, they're getting laughed at by me. So it's a win-win situation. And, of course, you got Miami, Florida State tonight, too, and I think Virginia Tech, NC State is tonight, too. So that's my plans for the rest of the day. Reaction videos uploaded to the main channel, including a halftime of the Georgia-Arkansas video game and a post-game Georgia-Arkansas video uploaded to the main channel. Live streaming the Georgia game on this channel for everyone to see. And then when that game ends, I will be live streaming on the Patreon page. If you want to join the Patreon page and hang out with us tonight during the Florida State-Miami game and Tennessee-South Carolina game, there's a link in the description of this video. I hope. It's supposed to be there. Yes, the one that says, want to support the channel and get exclusive Patreon benefits. There's a link. Click that link. It'll take you to the Patreon page. You can look around. You can see the different benefits you get from signing up on the Patreon page. And if you want to hang out with us tonight and watch those games, click that link. Get yourself signed up, and we'll see you over there tonight. Big shout-out to everybody who supported the show this morning. I really appreciate that. Lost Aggie, Jordan Kapler, Waikiki, Mike Bridges, TNT, Tiger Grad, Pine Cone, Lil Leon, and Warzone. And then over on the PayPal page, we had Waikiki, Brian B., and Michael Reiser, of course, with the joke of the day. I really appreciate you guys supporting the show, too. It means a lot to me. We got one more here. Let me read this one. I don't want to skip any. One more that just came in. It says, go Shorthorns, hook 'em. Listen, Uncle Lou, if we beat OU in October, can we beat the Longhorns again? I enjoy watching your dogs today. I tell you what, you'll have to remind me probably. But, yeah, if Texas beats Oklahoma, I will not refer to them as the Shorthorns for the rest of this college football season, however long that lasts for Texas. If it's into December or if it's into January for a playoff or whatever the case, I will ban myself from referring to Texas as the Shorthorns if you guys can beat OU this year. Again, you may have to remind me that I've said this, but I'm a man of my word. So you remind me, and yes, I will no longer refer to them as the Shorthorns, at least for this season. That's fair. That is fair. And thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting the show. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me to send you. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go pick up my wings. I'm making about 50. I think I'm making about 50 wings. My boy can eat 50 eggs. No, I'm going to go get 50 wings. I'm still shaking that bush, boss. I better go get 50 wings. 50 wings. Yeah, I'm going to make my food run for today. Who's this sneaking in here now? Look at this thing now. The dude comes in here like a goblin. Look at this. Look at him. What how in the hell? Oh, big head. Come here. Come here, big head. You know, say hi to the people. That's what you got to tell them. What you want to tell them? They're right there. Look, they're right there. They're right there. Yeah, well, good boy. Huh? Yeah, you want to be a good boy? This one right here weighs 130 pounds. This tan one. The black lab only weighs probably a little under 100. He's probably right at 100. But these are two big old boys here. And this guy here is like a tree trunk. I mean, you poke on him and nothing happens. Like you can't poke into him. It's like poking a wall when you like poking his side or his belly. I mean, he's thick with two C's on the end, aren't you, Jess? Huh? Ain't that a good boy? Oh, we'll scratch your neck. You like that? You like that? Scratch your neck? Scratch your neck? Huh? Oh, Franker, wait, you get out of my headphone, Franker. We ain't gonna be having no growling, Jess. I have that. I don't like that. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy your college football Saturday. I know y'all are, but what a great day of games we have. Seriously, I'm not just pumping sunshine here. There are great games at all 3 time slots today, so you guys enjoy your Saturday. Looks like maybe a rainy day here, which is a perfect day to stay inside and watch football all day and eat chicken wings. So I'm excited. I know y'all are too. I hope to see you on the live streams later, 4 o'clock for the Georgia game here on the channel. 7:30 tonight for the primetime games over on the Patreon page. I hope all your teams win, unless you're a Swine fan. Have a good day and an even better morning, too. Tell them good morning in that. What you doing over there?
Good morning.
Well, you got to talk to them in that. Why do you think I put the microphone
Well, good morning.
You over there whispering to people can't even hear you. What is that? Tell them have a good morning knowing you hope their team loses.
I hope your team wins.
See how he tells you? I know I said losers!